Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Economic Recovery Task Force discussion. We know that many of you are just logging in, and hopefully this technology is going to work. It certainly is a different way of meeting. It's one that not a lot of us are used to, but we hope that it's going to work this morning. So I'm not the most technologically sound person, so I'm relying on a great team behind the scenes that are putting all of this together for us. I want to start by welcoming you to this discussion. We really appreciate you joining us today. We know that you have a busy day ahead of you, and we appreciate you taking the time out of your day at the beginning of the day to join us. We're going to try to limit the time this morning to just an hour or less, and we will get you back to your day. If you have your mute, if you can mute yourself so that everyone can hear the speaker presenting. There is some feedback there from someone. So again, welcome. My name is John Norton. I'm the General Manager of Community Development with the municipality. And I'm here this morning with Mayor Darren Caniff, and we are going to walk you through some discussion points on how we can bring our economy back after this COVID-19 crisis. In addition, we're here to ask for your help this morning. That's really the purpose of this discussion, is to ask you to participate in the Mayor's Economic Recovery Task Force and to provide feedback to us. Perhaps you only have time to join us this morning and not to participate again, and that will be fine. But we're also looking for people who will be able to participate again and provide us some feedback over the next week or two as we gather data about our community and how COVID-19 is having an impact on our economy. We're going to be using some software this morning called Thought Exchange, and I've got with us this morning Dana Cave, who's going to be joining us all the way from Vancouver. She got up very early in the morning to join us, and she's going to be helping us with that technology and walking us through that so that we can all participate in this discussion this morning. We're going to be looking for your input. We will be using your phone for that input this morning for survey questions, and you're going to get a little bit more information in a little bit of time from now. So just get your phones ready and participate, please. I hope that you can see the screen that we're showing, and you can see here we've just got a little graphic that outlines what we've all been facing. The COVID-19 pandemic started and has become something that nobody expected. We know that the province declared a state of emergency, and we were all thrust into this crisis. Our health officials, doctors, nurses, public health units have been responding and taking the primary role in dealing with that crisis and keeping us all safe. But we know as well that at the same time that government is planning how to deal with the health crisis, there's also been an economic crisis. Businesses have had to be shut down, and many people are wondering how they're going to survive economically through this. We want to come together today to really talk about how Chatham-Kent can come out of this crisis and thrive. So here's the agenda this morning. I'm your host, again, John Norton. I've got with us here Darren Caniff, our leader, our mayor, our chief executive officer for our municipality, and support by other senior municipal officials, including our CIO, Don Shropshire. So the mayor is going to invite you to participate, and he's going to speak to you in a moment. And then we're going to invite you to give us some feedback about how COVID-19 has impacted you. We're going to then talk about how the municipality has already taken some steps but is looking to take more steps. And with your input, we will be responding and trying to help businesses in our community respond to this crisis. And then we're going to conclude by asking you again, what can we do next and how can you participate? So with that, I'm going to ask Mayor Caniff to make some remarks.
Thanks, John. Again, I want to thank everyone for tying in. When I look at the number of attendees we've got, that's beyond my wildest expectation of how many people are tying in, which is great. But again, it shows how Chatham-Kent's coming together. First, before I get started, I want to recognize a few people on the line. Rick Nichols, MPP, has joined us. Minister Monty McNaughton is on the line listening in as well. Leanne Rood, MP's tied in. We have a number of councillors as well. Councillor Hall, Councillor C. McGregor, Councillor Kirkwood-White, Councillor Latimer, Councillor Harrigan, and Councillor McGrail. The reason I highlight that is they're all listening. The purpose of what we're going to be doing is we, as a business community, will be communicating to all those leaders and advising them accordingly. I'll get in a little more detail of what we're looking for in my brief summary, but I want to thank them all for tying in because they are listening. They're very concerned with what's going on and want to see a fast, efficient recovery. So I don't have to tell everybody what the impacts are. We all know that it's firsthand, and there's a lot of negative impacts in the economy. The purpose of this task force is to ensure that we can get back to normal, as the new normal, as fast as we can, and get business back on their feet. But what we're looking at is this provides an opportunity for a unified voice for the CK business community. When I say unified voice, we're looking at producing a report from business, produced by business. It's not the municipality putting this together and having business do a little input. It is business doing this. And we're looking at doing this over approximately a 6-week time frame. So it's going to be very timely. We're going to be operating on business speed, certainly, because it's very important we get this out. This is focusing on the medium to long term. We've done a lot of things in the short term to help support business from a federal, provincial, and municipal perspective. This is designed to look at that little longer point in time. So ultimately, it's going to be providing advice to the municipal government, the provincial government, the federal government on things that business feels we need to be doing to bring us back to a strong economy. I pointed out, so we're going to be, just briefly, we will be getting a lot more detail later, but we're going to break into a number of industry groups. We're going to be asking each industry to comment on various things and recommendations from a particular industry. It's not all about government. We're not going to get, business will not get out of this just with government alone. Business needs to do a lot for themselves as well. So part of what we're going to be doing when we break out those groups, it's going to be industry, a number of business within the industry getting together. They can share innovations. They can look at what is their industry going to look like post-COVID. Some industries won't be much different post-COVID. Others are going to be significantly different. We're looking for business as well to step up, to innovate, to do various things so that there's a huge opportunity post-COVID for business as well. We want to allow businesses and as much as possible to take advantage of that. So we're looking for best practices and various things like, and as well, online presence is going to be even more important post-COVID. We want to work with business and help them get up to speed on that. But ultimately, it's business putting together a report, and they will be making a report to council in May. So it's a really tight timeline, and this is what this is all about. And as far as the next 45 minutes or so, we're going to be walking through the process and setting it up. We want you to be involved. Anybody, if you know people that aren't on this call, we want you to reach out to them. We want as many people as possible tying into these groups, because the more people we get together, the better ideas we're going to have. So I'm looking forward to the discussion over the next 45 minutes and over the next 6 weeks. I know that the business will put together a very robust report that we can look at and help influence our future. Thanks.
Thank you, Mayor Caniff. We're now going to invite Dana Cave to lead us through the next step. We are going to invite her. She is with Thought Exchange, and they're providing us this service today free of charge. So thank you very much, Dana, for helping us. And we know that you're all the way in Vancouver. We appreciate your help. So Dana, would you like to walk us through the next step?
Wonderful. Good morning, everyone. And I'm delighted to be here from the West Coast. Thought Exchange, a few of you actually may have already participated in a Thought Exchange previously, as school districts in your area also use our platform. It's a community engagement platform. So our idea is to gather the insights of the community, learn from each other, and help surface the most important topics, the most important ideas that we can then talk about as a group. So what I'm going to ask you to do today, so the idea of Thought Exchange is a 3-step process. The important thing to know is that it is a confidential process. So your name is not attached to your thoughts or your starring. We're really just looking at the quality of the ideas being shared. So if you can pick up your phone and open your camera and shine it at that QR code that's on your screen. You can also, we've dropped a link in the chat where you can copy that link into a browser and also join there. And you have a third option of joining if you just go to tejoin.com and enter that 9-digit code that's on your screen. And what we're going to have you do is answer the one question that we're starting with is, what has been the impact of COVID-19 on your business and you personally? We're asking you to share your thoughts. You should share one thought per bottle. Share as many thoughts as are on your mind. And then you'll go to the starring where you'll star a diverse group of thoughts. You don't have to star all the thoughts in the conversation. If you just star between about 20 to 30 thoughts, you'll get an overall sense of the major ideas that are emerging in the conversation. You'll notice the first thing that you come to is a drop down, a survey style question that asks which sector best describes you. And this is an important thing, is we're trying to find out sort of which thoughts are resonating most with the group, but then also we'll break them down by sector. So if you have any questions, you can now jump into the Thought Exchange, scan that QR code, or go to tejoin.com and enter that 9-digit code. And we'll give you 6 or 7 minutes to participate. I see that already we have 96 participants jumped in. That's wonderful. And please don't hesitate to jump into the chat if you're having any problems getting onto the site. We'll certainly help you out. Now, I always just like to call out, we like to give people a little bit of silence to participate in this particular part of the activity. So it can be a little awkward at first, but just know that if you look at the screen as you're participating, you can see that we have 133 participants so far. We're sharing a lot of thoughts, and I'll go to a screen in a moment once I have a few more participants in to show you how the conversation is evolving virtually. So as you're busy sharing your ideas and getting into the starring phase, you can take a little look at your screen and you can see that as people are joining the conversation, you're a little purple person who's appeared. And as you share your idea, your thought bubble appears and all the starring that's happening is now prioritizing the thoughts that are being shared. And you'll see them stack and restack on the right-hand side as people jump into the starring process. So we're really finding out what's resonating, what's most important, what's connecting you as a group right now in this moment virtually.
Hello, Dana. Can you hear me? Are you there, Dana? Seeing some really interesting information start to come up. So I think Dana's just having some problems there connecting. So we will we'll connect back with her as soon as we can. And we'll go through the results as soon as we get Dana back online. Someone's going to have to signal me when she's available again. So what we want to talk about now is what the municipality has been doing. We want you to know, first of all, that we frankly didn't see this coming in any, you know, we had no special insight about this more than anyone else. So this is something that's come to Chatham-Kent from outside. What I will say, though, is I think our community, more than perhaps others, is well prepared for this crisis. It reflects our resiliency, our ability to be prepared for whatever comes our way. You will know that our municipal council was elected in 2018, and they immediately set about with our CAO to develop a strategic focus, a strategic plan. And we have a CK Plan 2035, which has as its first priority economic prosperity. Within that, this council's term of priorities for 2018 to 2022 included the growth plan. So growth remains a priority for our community, which includes population and economy growing. And you can see there some of the plans that were laid out by our council about 2 years ago. So I was assigned responsibility to develop a growth strategy for Chatham-Kent. And what we wanted to look at was tactics to fuel growth in Chatham-Kent. What we decided was the why, to increase the population, jobs, and tax assessment, which helps pay for the things at the municipality that we all need to enjoy our quality of life. We landed on some targets just recently, just in January of this year. Council approved a target of, in these three areas, to increase our population over time by about 1% on average. We're aiming to increase the number of jobs in Chatham-Kent by 0.5%, and to have new growth tax assessment at 1.5%. We thought those are realistic targets and something that could be sustainable over time and help our community maintain the quality of life that we enjoy. And so within that, to help growth, what we developed were certain action points. And we just wanted to review with you this morning what we've already done. We engaged the community. We amended our community improvement plan. And I'm really excited that we did that. We did that in a way that allows high-rise apartment buildings to be attracted to our community by giving them some tax relief and incentives that encourage them to build here. We haven't had a new apartment building built in over 30 years in Chatham-Kent. As well, we wanted to encourage affordable housing, and we are giving new incentives to those that type of housing as well. In addition, we amended our building department building inspection fees for residential high-rises. We also done a legal review of unnecessary red tape, and we were just beginning discussions internally on growth paying for growth. How would we pay for things like business parks and other types of investments that need to be made in Chatham-Kent to make us shovel ready? We need shovel ready lands for investors. We know that we had been losing investment because businesses could not come to Chatham-Kent because they didn't find lands that have the infrastructure in the ground. We have ample, lots and lots of land in Chatham-Kent, just not enough infrastructure in the ground. So we were proposing to do these next steps, and we were starting to roll that out. In addition, we were looking at a culture change for growth, trying to ensure that the people of Chatham-Kent want to grow, want our community to grow. And we were looking at and have a team that works on attracting businesses as well as attracting population, family, younger people. We were trying to promote Chatham-Kent to people living in the Greater Toronto area to support our workforce demands. So that was our strategy. And then the unexpected happened. Nobody anticipated that this was going to happen. And we know these statistics are on the news every day. You turn on the TV and you see them, and they're shocking. And many people are upset by it. And we know that it's having a health impact, and people are in fact even dying. And the health officials are trying to bring us through that, and we're all pulling together in Chatham-Kent. But we also know there's been an economic impact. And what we did was we immediately sort of got together as a team at the municipality. Our CIO brought us together, gave out assignments. We have the health officials leading the responsibility for the health matters, and those of us who have the economic portfolio focused on the economy. And what we did in the economic development and building and planning areas was we immediately increased support for businesses. So what we did is we added some new staff to our economic development team to help businesses through this issue. We've added, what we did is we basically redeployed employees from one area to another, and we put an employee who was focused on a different job, put him on a task to help businesses access provincial and federal grants. We've all been watching the TV as the Prime Minister and Premier have been announcing grants that are coming, and we know that businesses are going to need help accessing those funds. So we have deployed staff in our department to focus on that. In addition, we know that businesses are turning their minds to the electronic commerce, digital websites, digital delivery of their services. So we're enhancing our support in that area. We've created a web page solely to help businesses through this crisis. And if you go to investck.ca, you can see our resources there for businesses. We're also offering training for businesses to adapt to COVID-19. We're issuing building permits. We're continuing to see requests for building permits, and we're trying to keep construction going. The Premier just recently announced that all non-essential construction needed to stop because of the health concerns, but we're continuing through planning applications and providing building permits to help developers, to help those who want to be ready, so that when construction is able to start again, businesses can move forward with their construction. In addition, our council approved tax deferral relief just at the last council meeting. So there's been lots of steps taken, from financial steps to economic development team to steps to try to provide support for businesses. But what now? We're here to say that businesses, first and foremost, need to stay healthy and stay safe, right? I mean, the best thing that you can do for your business is keep yourself healthy, so that when we come through this crisis, you're able to pick up your business again. So if you and your employees stay safe, you're able to start working again. That's the most important thing. The second comment is that our municipal government, we have taken some steps, as I just reviewed, but we need to do more, and we need your help, and that's why we're here to ask for it today. As a community, we need to come together, and I think we've done that in Chatham-Kent. We are a community of a tight-knit community where people want to be here, people enjoy living in Chatham-Kent, and people know their neighbors, they know the business down the street, and we coming together and helping each other. And so we've created this task force, ideas for business, ideas for government, ideas for people and community. That's why we're here. So that's what we wanted to share with you, and just really come humbly and invite you to participate, invite you to give us ideas at government, invite you to give ideas to other businesses and share with each other. As the mayor said, government can't fix everything. Businesses are going to have to find some of their own solutions, and we're here coming together so that we can share together. Is Dana back with us now?
Hello.
Hello.
I am very sorry about that. I got kicked out of the meeting, but I'm back. And the amazing results is we had a wonderful, almost 250 thoughts were shared. So I'm excited to share the results with the team, and we'll certainly report those back out to you.
Fantastic. Are you able to share your screen right now with us? Are you there?
Yes, we have the second exchange up. So if we can go into the exchange in the same way that you did for
Having trouble hearing you, Dana.
What would you like to see happen next to support businesses mitigate the impact of COVID-19? So again, if you can jump into the thought exchange using the QR code or tejoin.com with the 9-digit code, we'll give you another 5 or 6 minutes to participate in this exchange. So if you jump in with the same, shine your camera on this new QR code or go to tejoin.com and enter the 9-digit code, you'll be jumped into the new conversation. So you'll have to start this new, I've put up a new screen and a new code for you to shine your cameras on. And this tejoin.com is 347-967-534. Great, we have 112. Again, that new screen. And there's a link also in the chat for you to jump into this new conversation. So this is wonderful. We have 127 participants and 67 thoughts so far.
Welcome back, Dana. Can you hear me, Dana?
We'll just give you a couple more minutes to jump in and do a bit more rating on the thoughts that are in so far. 86 thoughts. This is a wonderful conversation that's evolving here. Okay, and we just have a couple thoughts that are out there waiting to be rated. So if you can jump back in and do just a little bit more starring, that would be wonderful. We'll just get all those thoughts brought into the conversation. So if you have any questions or concerns on how to get into the thought exchange, is what we can also do is send the links out through Eventbrite, and you can participate. We'll leave the thought exchanges open. So if you've had a struggle getting in during the call, we will leave these conversations open and send you the links so that you can also do them after the meeting as well.
Thank you, Dana. Can you hear me now?
So again, if you're on your phone, probably the easiest way now is to go to an internet browser and go to tejoin.com and enter that 9-digit code that's in the top left corner of the screen.
Can you hear me, Dana? Having trouble getting Dana to hear me, I guess. Okay, we're starting to see some of the data come up. I've seen that people are mentioning access to internet, which we know is hugely important. I see promoting local businesses, better internet for the rural areas. These are all hugely important issues in our community. We know that access to internet is a very big issue, especially if you're a business in the rural parts of our community. I can tell you that the municipality has been working hard to get expansion of internet in rural parts of Chatham-Kent. Our CAO and council have been working closely with what we call SWIFT, which is an organization of municipalities across southwestern Ontario, and we have funding coming to help expansion of internet. So these are important issues with support from our provincial government. We're working to increase internet access. Dana, I don't know if you can hear me, but if you can scroll through so that people can see the data results, that would be helpful. Can you hear me, Dana? I can see you now.
Hi everyone, it's Karen here. I just want to let you know that I'm connecting with Dana and we're trying to sort this out. There seems to be some audio issues at her end. And Jen, if you are able to put that link for this second thought exchange back in the audience box, then people can also look at the comments that are happening. And as was mentioned earlier, we will be providing all these links out to everybody that you'll just be able to click on them and continue this conversation moving forward. So I know that as we're scrolling through this, you can see that one of the neat things about this is this software gives us the opportunity to be able to see your thoughts based on the number of times people have said items, but also based on your sentiment, based on your starring. So what we found is somebody might say is, I need more in-depth support training resources to help business. But then the majority of people will say, that's not quite as important to me. Now we know that that's a top thought because we can see that up front, as well as promoting buying Canadian and buying local is something that we have heard quite frequently before this call and now during this call as well, that how can we help those people, those businesses who unfortunately have had to close, would we be able to support them buying gift certificates to be ready for them when they're open, those type of things. So thank you for your patience with this, and I'm going to pass it back to John to continue some discussion.
Thank you, Karen. I don't know, is the mayor still there as well?
I'm here, John.
Hi, hello, Mayor. I guess we're having trouble. What we were going to do is walk through some of the data there, but I think we're starting to get a flavor for what was being said. You can see that rural internet is an issue. Some of the input there may be related to how businesses can start back up and get support. Do you have any thoughts about any of those issues?
Oh, I love the feedback and how quickly it came through. And a lot of it is, I love that the first one wasn't here, give us more money. I love that we were looking, there's so many things that we can do. And there's some ideas that popped up. I said, wow, I really love the idea of let's highlight some businesses that are succeeding. That's a great idea. Let's get out there. And so other businesses can share from that. Those are some fantastic ideas. And this is just the start of the flow from what we're looking at here. When we start talking about next steps and things, we're really going to be passing it over to business now to come up with reports and going more in depth by industry to let us know what the ideas. So I'm looking forward to seeing what business comes up with. I know we're going to be very creative and a lot of great ideas coming out of it.
Okay, so that's great. And what you've had the opportunity to do is give us this feedback. It's all in that computer system now, and we're going to be sending out a link, as Karen said, to connect you to it. And as you can hear, the mayor is excited already to see some of the feedback that has been provided. So we're happy to receive that. What we wanted to do here now is just talk maybe about the next steps. And as the mayor said, we are having this discussion today. What we're anticipating is that you're going to now have the opportunity to kind of continue to give us some more feedback. You've given us feedback today, but if you're available, what we're hoping is that you will be available to participate in a task force sector group. So what we envisioned was that maybe participants today are from all different business groups and different sectors of our economy. So what we were hoping is that the various sectors would be able to give us feedback, because we know that the impact of our current crisis to, for example, the hospitality or restaurant sector is going to be very different than, for example, the impact to the agricultural sector. So just those are examples. And what we want to do is ask if you are willing to participate in one of these sector groups, that you would let us know that. And if you're willing to chair one of these sector groups, if you're willing to be the chairperson, we would ask you to let us know that as well. And then what we're going to do is just connect people together and have you come up with your sector input to this task force. We envision that this is not going to be a long process. As the mayor said, we want this to be a relatively a short period of time in which ideas are shared and gathered together. And we envision all these sectors giving us input. We'll collate it all together. There'll be probably a meeting with the mayor with all of the chairpersons of each sector group, and we will be able to hear all the input, receive it, and bring it forward to certainly to municipal council. And if there's some messaging that needs to go to the provincial and federal government, to our MP and MPPs, we will certainly share that with them. And also information that can be shared with businesses about ideas that businesses can share with each other. So this is an opportunity for us to come together and share. Maybe now some closing comments from the mayor.
Certainly, we went through all this, and I just want to reiterate that it's now in business hands as far as what the input is going to be. It's not a process to summarize what the municipality thinks. This is a process to summarize what business thinks we should be doing. So we talked about those 9 groups, really encourage people to get involved with that. And the municipality will assist in whatever way administratively to help those 9 groups get together. But by no means are we making the thoughts. It's business coming together. We're going to take and roll up those 9 different reports. We expect a report, whether it's a 1-page, whether it's a 10-page report coming from each group, as to what does the industry look like? How can we adapt? What should the municipality be doing? What do we need from the federal, provincial governments? What do we need to do as an industry? Put those reports up, and then we're going to look to a group within the business to coordinate that, and ultimately we want a presentation to council coming from this in short order. And I'm fully expecting a lot of great ideas, and we will be acting on these. It's not as though, oh well, it's a nice thing to do and put it in the shelf. We're going to take and use this. This is an opportunity for change in Chatham-Kent from a business perspective, from a municipal perspective. Let's take advantage of it. I know that we can get through this together, as we've been saying, and I know we're going to come out of this stronger if we work together. So I implore you to get involved with this. We need your input in this. Thanks.
Thank you, Mayor. Maybe in conclusion, I just want to say thank you for participating today. Thank you for being a part of this. Again, thank you for taking time out of your day and participating. We know that people are hurting. We know that people are struggling both with the physical health issues, maybe mental health issues related to having to isolate and be apart from family and friends. And we know that people are struggling economically. We care. We're here to say that we care. So if there's somebody out there struggling, please contact us. I know the mayor would love to hear from you. I would love to hear from you. We're here to support you And again, to reiterate what the mayor said, we're hoping to receive your feedback, and as the mayor said, we will act on it. Thank you for participating today, and enjoy the rest of your day.